Hey, what's up, you all? Thank you for listening to the Larger Than Logic podcast. My name is Avery Taylor, and I have something very, very important to share with you. My guided checklist is out now. If you know how to do anything of value, you could be a carpenter, you could be a chef, you could be an audio engineer like me, a producer, you could be a great singer, you could be a coder, graphic designer, anything that you know how to do. You can take this guided checklist, turn it into a digital product, and become financially free with very little to no money solely by teaching others to do the thing that you know how to do very, very well. That link is in all of my social media bios. It will also be linked below in the description. But without further ado, the important thing, the really, 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 really important thing that we have to talk about today is the importance of your pursuit. The importance of your pursuit. What am I talking about? We all have a result that we like to achieve. We all have a place that we're trying to go. We all have these things that we want to be and do, right? But the thing about it is a lot of times we get very, very fixated on the end result, and we forget to take a second to really analyze and sit with our pursuit. The thing that I need you to understand is that a part of your purpose is being an example of proper pursuit. Part of your purpose is exemplifying proper pursuit. What do I mean by proper pursuit? Being an individual that is consistent, being an individual that is disciplined, being an individual that is caring, honest. There's integrity in how you pursue, that your pursuit and that your goal is righteous, that is not self-seeking, but it is for the betterment of others, the community, those around you, for the love of God, right? It is so, so important that you understand that part of your purpose, a great deal of your purpose, is surrounded around being an example, being a proponent of proper pursuit. Why do I say this? It's because it's not always the result that anybody is looking at. It's not always the C to the A plus B that people are caring about. When somebody is inspired, when you are even inspired, it is rarely because you just saw the end result and the end result was the thing that stole your heart. You saw the way the person got to the result. There are thousands of musicians that you listen to, but you don't go to see every single last musician that you listen to live. There are thousands of recipes that you love to eat, but you don't go to every single restaurant and order the exact same thing. There is something about the process, the energy, the aura, the methodology, the thought process, the character that surrounds one's pursuit. And there is a way to pursue properly, and there is a way to pursue improperly. A lot of people don't realize, but the pursuit of your dream or the pursuit of your goal is very, very similar to that of any other relationship. There is a relationship between you and the goal that you are trying to achieve. In the exact same way that in a relationship, what you lead with is a lot of times what you are going to get out of that relationship and what you're going to have to continuously give. It is the same with your pursuit, and also the way others perceive that. The impact that you have on others vicariously is also closely tied to what you lead with and the quality of your pursuit. Okay? Let's break this down a little bit more. Say there's this gentleman, and we're going to call this gentleman Joe. So say we sitting here and we got Joe, right? And so Joe is dating a nice young lady, man, and shorty is the truth. She has a great head on her shoulders. She's beautiful. She's in the gym. Her physique is intact. She comes from a great family, has both parents, and they're both awesome, have raised her up to be a phenomenal woman. She is encouraging. She is all the whole 9 yards. But when Joe meets her, Joe meets this nice young lady, and the first thing that he does is swipe her card. He meets her at the grocery store and she has a cart full of groceries right ahead of him. And so he walks up and he swipes his card. He says, "Don't worry about that. I got that. $200 worth of mom's organic groceries paid for in full." He goes into his spiel about, "Hey, I don't even really want to get into too much of who you are right now, but I'm so and so and so and so, and I want to take you here and I want to do this and I want to X, Y, and Z and da 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 da." Joe is positioning himself as the baller. And so we're going to name Shorty Mackenzie. So Mackenzie, she's like, "Okay, Baller Joe, take my number down." And now Baller Joe is in Mackenzie's head as the person to call when she wants something and does not have to pay for it. Now, they actually end up hitting it off, and Mackenzie actually begins to care for Joe in a deeper way. Joe begins to care for Mackenzie in a deeper way. And they get down the line, and they have been in a relationship for, let's say, 3 years now. He proposes, they have kids, and they're just going through life X, Y, and Z. But as we all saw from the beginning, she is attracted to him because of what he does for her. And so the majority of the conversations, "Hey, I wanted to go get my hair done. Hey, I saw these new shoes on X, Y, and Z. Hey, I wanted to have a spa day. Could you pay for me and my girls to go? Hey, I wanted to take a weekend trip to X, Y, and Z while you're working. Hey," and there's no love lost because this is what their flow is. But also everybody else on the outside in sees the type time things are on. And it just so happens that late in life, Joe, around age 40, developed a neurological disorder, a neurological issue that prevented him from being able to work anymore. And so he could no longer provide the lifestyle that he had been providing for his life. And Mackenzie tried as hard as she could. She did everything in her power, emotionally at least, to stay with him and hold him down and take care of him, because he had devoted so much of his life and resources to making sure that she had anything that she wanted and needed. But it got to a point where she just said, "I can't stay here any longer." And she took the kids and she left, and he had to be admitted to a home by his siblings. Now, why do I tell you this story? Why do I tell you this story? It's because he was pursuing a relationship with Mackenzie, right? He pursued a relationship, but his pursuit wasn't quality. His pursuit wasn't built on character. His pursuit wasn't built on good habits. His pursuit wasn't built on instilling true value. His pursuit wasn't built on creating a legacy that anybody else could actually learn from. His pursuit of relationship was based on him getting what he wanted from her and having to give literally the only thing, or honestly, the easiest thing that he could have possibly given: money. A lot of us, when it comes to how we pursue or even think about pursuing our goals, a lot of times we try to think about, okay, how can I beeline to this goal and give as little as possible? How can I beeline to this goal and do this the easiest way possible? Look, man, I'll tell you, if everything was that easy, everybody would be great. If everything was just a snap of the fingers away, everybody would do it. Everybody would be balling. Everybody would be bossed up. But it's just not the case. It's the same thing with relationship. If relationship or quality relationship was that easy, everybody would have one. There would be no domestic violence. There would be no death toll in relationships. There would be no sexual assault. There would be no contention and conflict. There would not be half as many men or women in prison behind all of these different things. It's not the case. Relationship in any environment is not easy, especially your relationship to your pursuit of your growth and your goals. And so I'm telling you this today because I need you to understand that it's not just important to pursue a goal. It's not just important to have a relationship. It's not just important to get money. It's not just important. All these things, they're not important at all. What is more important is your pursuit and the quality of your pursuit. The quality of your pursuit is so important because that is where your character is developed. That is where your wrongs become righted. That is where you become more effective. That is where you become a person that is actually able to sustain something good. I don't know about y'all, but I've heard the statistics. I've heard the statistics of the individuals who hit the lottery 10, 15 million and lose it all. It's because when you learn these things, or it's because when you get things that you did not work for, a lot of times you do not know how to sustain them. And when you pursue things and you get things through an ill gotten manner, when you get things doing things that you shouldn't have done, a lot of times they're not healthy and they don't live. It's like a bodybuilder that does everything off of a fast food diet. It's not sustainable. And so on today, let me caution you and let me encourage you. Do not get yourself caught up in just the result, because the result is it is what you want, right? But I need you to be able I need you to begin to focus, zero in, spend a lot of time with refining your pursuit. Today, what I need you to do is I need you to stop being so hyper focused on only the result. And I need you to start zeroing in on fine tuning your pursuit. I want you to start asking yourself, what does the type of person who makes it to where I want to be in a healthy manner, how do they live? How do they process? How do they communicate? How do they handle their emotions? How do they relate to others? How do they take care of others? How do they serve others? How do they take care of themselves? These are some of the questions that you can ask yourself. What are their habits? What are the things that they do every single day and it is not negotiable? These are the type of questions that you should be asking yourself to become a type of person that has a pursuit, that your pursuit can actually bless somebody else and actually bless you in the long run. Man, I could go on and on and on about this, but if you do not understand anything else from what I'm trying to get you to understand, it is that a large part of your purpose is to be an example of a proper pursuit. And so, because part of your purpose is to be an example of proper pursuit, don't just go after things willy nilly. Go about things with intention. Go about things with thought. Go about things with care. When you make a decision, if somebody was to ask you why you made that decision, be able to give an answer for why you did what you did. Be able to give an answer for why you believe what you believe about what you're doing. Having the answer of that's just how it is, having the answer of, oh, this is just what I felt like, that's not cutting it. That is not acceptable. And that's not intelligent at all. Have an answer for why. All right. But look, man, once again, thank you for listening to the Larger Than Logic podcast. And I so appreciate you allowing me to be a part of your journey.